Hey guys, the Elusive Pixie Chi here, and welcome back to another blind reading. Today we're going to be reading Chapter 3 of My Immortal, so let's get this show on the road. I'm going to go in and open it now. Woohoo! Alright. For those of you who are just joining us, we are reading what is considered by some the worst fanfiction ever written. I think it might be up there, but I kind of don't think it's the worst one ever written, just because sometimes a bad fanfiction isn't about terrible grammar, terrible Mary Sues. I mean, yeah, those are factors, but in my opinion, a terrible fanfiction can also be something that just does something just abhorrent, like I can't really give any examples of work right now, but I've read some stories, I think we all have, that just have these really terrible scenarios, which, I mean, at least we can all laugh at this one, but there are some fanfics out there that just make you feel disgusted afterwards, and I think those are the worst. The ones that make you think, what kind of sick fuck wrote this? That sort of thing. But forget about that. Without further ado, let us begin with Chapter 3. This story is still really bad, though. Don't think for a second I'm defending it. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, it's not the stories that make you facepalm yourself that are the worst. It's the ones that make you lose faith in humanity. Let's go. Chapter 3. Author note, stop flaming the story, whatever. Don't expect that to stop anytime soon. Because you're a terrible, terrible writer, and I feel disgusted just calling you that. You are not associated with me in any way, shape, or form. Okay, here we go. Chapter 3. On the night of the concert, I put on my black lace-up boots and high heels. Oh, with high heels, okay. Underneath them were ripped red fishnets. Then I put on a black leather mini dress with all this corset stuff on the back and front. Corset stuff. Oh, you mean like the lace-up pull string? Okay. You know, I was reading a terrible Sonic fanfiction the other day that was supposed to be like a creepypasta type thing, and it had one of the characters hanging from the gallows, but they didn't call it gallows, they called it those things with nooses you see in old westerns. I am not kidding you, that's exactly what they called it. And this person is, you know, things have names. All it takes is maybe 5 minutes, type into the Google search engine, what is a blank called? You can even type in, what are those things with nooses from the Old West called? And somebody will answer your question easily. I've done that all the time myself, because I write a lot of Victorian-era stuff, and people talk differently back then, and people, you know, they had different things back then, different names for things that they don't use anymore. And to stay authentic, I will do that. I will go, what is the Victorian term for blank? Because I don't want to say something stupid, and it only takes a moment's research to get it right. You could type into a search engine, what are blank that you're looking for her outfit? You know, the person who wrote the Sonic one could have written, you know, what are the things that have nooses in old westerns called. You know, I mean, it's just a little tip, because part of this thing that I'm doing is I want to try and give tips in case these writers ever do want to improve. But just do your research. It's not hard, and it can really help your story. It'll make your story feel more real, and your reader deserves that. But that's one of my pet peeves, is when people say something, I mean, I've even seen this in decent fanfics, where they'll say something like, I used a flashlight to help me see, even though they're, like, in a fantasy story. Or I used a stick with fire on it to help me see. You mean a torch? I mean, it's not that hard. If you don't know the name of something, just type in I don't care how ridiculous it sounds. I've literally typed in stuff like, what is that thing that hangs down from that other thing called? And I get an answer, and then I don't sound like an idiot or have to use a modern word when I'm writing a fantasy story. It's actually a really good idea. And yeah, maybe you feel stupid for typing it into a search engine, but you know what? You're going to feel a lot more stupid if somebody calls you on it. Because, trust me, you don't want that to happen. So anyway, I'm done ranting. Where was I? I put on matching fishnet on my arms. I straightened my hair and made it look all spiky. So you straightened it, but it's spiky. Oh, okay. That doesn't make any sense! I felt a little depressed. You're going to a concert, honey. How? Oh, I'm sorry. You're an angsty goth. How dare I? You're always depressed, right? No, you're not. Trust me. I'm like a fourth goth myself, and you're not goth. I'm sorry. You're just a stereotype. What? Holy crap, no. Oh my god. I felt a little depressed then, so I slit one of my wrists. Oh, no. This has officially triggered me. Under no circumstances are you supposed to make light of something like that. You slit one of your goddamn wrists because you were a little depressed? No. No, that is so friggin' disrespectful right there. Listen, do you even know why people cut? Do you even know how serious that is? Do you even know what'll happen if you slit one of your goddamn wrists? You don't do that if you're a little depressed. You do that if you're just in the epitome of darkness. If you literally don't think you can go on another second. Seriously, what the fuck? You slit one of your wrists because you were a little depressed? Honestly. No. I'm sorry. I know this video is supposed to be funny, but this is fucking just abhorrent. This doesn't make your character edgy. This doesn't make your character relatable. This doesn't make your character cool. This makes you, the writer, a disgusting, visceral, pustule-inflated piece of shit. You are a sick, twisted human being. I'm sorry. I don't even care if I'm going a little over the top here because this is disgusting. What is the point of this? I read a depressing book while I waited for it to stop bleeding, and I listened to some GC. No, it won't stop bleeding. You slit your goddamn wrist and you don't put pressure on it, you're going to die. Okay, I know I said in my last reading I was going to make this character stupid and feel, stupider and more stupid. See, this story is so horrible, it's messing up my own personal use of grammar. This story is rotting my friggin' brain out my ears. Okay, I have to take a break. This is just abhorrent. I haven't read something this insulting, this makes me literally want to vomit. I've known people who have cut. I've known people who have gone to the mental hospital because they tried to commit suicide by cutting. This isn't funny. This doesn't make your character cool. This isn't something you should do for leisure. Nobody cuts for freaking leisure. People cut either A, because they're so depressed, B, they need a release from all the fucking tension in their goddamn life, or C, they want attention. She has no one who could possibly want to give her attention. People kill themselves this way. This isn't funny. This isn't cool. This isn't goth. This isn't vampire. This isn't anything that you say your character is. This is just you not knowing how the fuck life works. And if you do cut in real life, Why? No, you know what? You don't cut in real life. Because if you cut in real life, you wouldn't be using it so loosely. You wouldn't be talking about something so serious as cutting. Like, okay, I felt a little depressed, so I slit one of my wrists. No, if you were a real cutter, you wouldn't be talking about it like that. If you knew someone who was a real cutter, you would have more respect than this. You are an abhorrent, pustule-inflated human being. This is disgusting. I will finish this story, but you are a disgusting sack of crap for writing that. I'm just going to say that right now. Alright, I need to take a break and cool off, but I will continue. Okay, I'm back. I have to admit that is just one of the most blatantly disrespectful things I've ever seen in a fan fiction, so I had to take a break. Alright. Let's go back to where our protagonist has just cut themselves because they're in a semi-depressed boredom. Alright. I read a depressing book while I waited for it to stop bleeding. Why are you listening to depressing things or reading depressing things if you're already depressed? Everyone with depression knows that just makes it worse, you dumb fuck. Okay. And I listened to some GC, Good Charlotte, I guess. I painted my nails black and put on tons of black eyeliner. Then I put on some black lipstick. I didn't put on foundation because I was pale anyway. Well, then why the fuck were you wearing it for the last 2 chapters? Consistency? What's that? I drank some human blood, so I was ready to go to the concert. Yeah, because you can't go to a concert without drinking human blood. That'd just be lame. I went outside. Draco was waiting there in front of his flying car. Okay, not gonna make too much fun of that, because that might be a Harry Potter thing too. Like I said, I don't know. That sounds a little futuristic, but whatever. Just roll with it, Shannon, you'll get through it sooner. He was wearing a Simple Plan t-shirt. They would play at the show too. Baggy black skater pants, black nail polish, and a little eyeliner. Okay. Author note, a lot of cool boys wear it, okay? I don't think you need to tell us that, considering that your audience is already into, like, probably the stuff you're into, because your audience is probably your 2 friends that you have in real life, and they're the only ones who actually enjoy your stupid story. Alright. Hi, Draco. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to say that in a depressed voice. Hi, Draco, I said in a depressed voice. Hi, Ebony, he said back. We walked into his flying black Mercedes-Benz. Okay, it's not even supposed to be a flying car. Okay, now I'm gonna trump it completely. The license plate said 666. I'm getting Sonic.exe flashbacks now. And flew to the place with the concert. On the way, we listened excitedly to Good Charlotte and Marilyn Manson. We both smoked cigarettes and drugs. Okay, you badass teenagers. I don't even care. It's just so stupid. We smoked cigarettes and drugs. You know, if you added did drugs, it would still be a stupid sentence, and you're trying way too hard to sound cool. When we got there, we both hopped out of the car. We went to the mosh pit at the front of the stage and jumped up and down as we listened to Good Charlotte. Oh, that's so stupid. Stop trying to be cool, story. Stop trying to be cool, writer. You clearly are some 15-year-old wannabe goth nerd in your mother's basement. Stop it. It's so It's just so embarrassing for you. I have reason to believe you've never even been to a concert in your whole life, and you're just rewriting what you've seen in, like, movies and stuff. Because this doesn't sound at all like any of the concerts that I've been to and heard of, so you're clearly full of it. You come in cold, you're covered in blood, I don't know the song. They're all so happy you've arrived. The doctor cuts your cord, hands you to your mom. She sets you free into this life. Cool lyrics, but they have no place in this shitty story. I mean, I do like some of the bands that are listed here, actually pretty much all of them, because like I said, I am a bit goth myself, but this is so stupid. I mean, I've told people before that I'm like a punk, prep, geek, goth, like, hybrid. This is so dumb, though. I mean, maybe that's why I'm hating this story so much, is it's kind of offensive to me. Or to two, maybe three parts if you count the prep. I'm very little prep, though. I only say I'm prep is because I like the color pink and I like frilly and cute things. But I don't really think I have a label, but that's why I'm kind of a hybrid breed myself. But this is so stupid. Sang Joel, I don't own the lyrics to that song. Well, no shit, Sherlock. That's like the best thing that's been in your entire story. The lyrics are actually, I think, because, like, okay, that's the only thing that's in your story that's good, is the lyrics to that song. Everything else sounds like it was written by a wannabe 15-year-old, so no shit. Joel is so fucking hot, I said to Draco. Well, that's a mean thing to do to the guy you're dating. Pointing to him as he sang dumbass, filling the club with his amazing voice. Suddenly, Draco looked sad. Well, gee, I wonder why. What's wrong? I asked as we moshed to the music. Then I caught on. Hey, it's okay. I don't like him better than you, I said. Really? Asked Draco sensitively, and he put his arm around me, all protective. What are you protecting her from, dude? You're the victim here. Really, I said, because I don't even know Joel, and he's going out with Hillary fucking Duff. I hate that little bitch. I said disgustedly, thinking of her ugly blonde face. I'm sorry. The night went on really well, and I had a great time. So did Draco. After the concert, we drank some beer and asked Benji and Joel for their autographs and photos with them. Oh, yeah, because you had backstage passes and the connections to make that happen. Yeah, kind of doubt that. I mean, he said he had tickets, none of that stuff, so. But whatever, this is a shitty self-insert / self-fulfillment fan fiction, so of course you did. We got GC concert tees. Probably for free. They're probably, like, autographed as well, I'm guessing. Draco and I crawled, yeah, and then the lead singer probably signed on your tit, because you're a complete slut, and yeah, whatever. Draco and I crawled back into the Mercedes-Benz, but Draco didn't go back into Hogwarts. Instead, he drove his car into the Forbidden Forest. Yay, he's gonna kill her! Alright. Yeah, probably not. Hope so. And that's the end of Chapter 3. I think this one was longer than the last two. I think they keep getting longer because I keep having more to say because they keep pushing my buttons in ways that I am not expecting. I mean, I apologize if I went a little crazy at the whole cutting scene, but I just have known some really depressed people who have cut themselves, and they were my friends, and they could have died. I mean, it's a serious issue, and you don't fuck around with serious issues like that. I mean, putting something like that in your story for shock, or in the author's case here, she just doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. But you don't do that. I mean, if you're going to talk about things like cutting or rape or any sensitive topic, really, you do it with tact. And you have to be pretty damn skilled to do it with tact. I mean, even I consider myself pretty damn skilled, but I rarely, if ever, talk about any touchy subjects. And when I do research like you wouldn't believe. Like, I think I've talked about, like in my writing, I've talked about drug addictions, and I've also talked about, like, a lot of domestic issues, a ton of domestic issues in my work. Mental illness, post-traumatic stress disorder, losing someone you love, like death, or losing a child, having a child grow up and resent everything you ever did for them, even though you did everything you could to make their life good, and they just leave. I've tackled some pretty heavy shit, and I've done my research each and every time. I think I might have tackled rape at one point, but I don't think I did, and I probably will in the future, because there's a character in particular in one of my stories who's pretty much a wage slave to this criminal organization, and I could easily see them. Yeah, she's been raped in the past, but I think I want to go into more detail about her story and the horrible, just everything she went through and everything she struggles with every day of her life after that, because it doesn't go away and it doesn't get easier, and trivializing it is just one of the most selfish and abhorrent and just downright disrespectful things that you can do. I mean, I know this writer is probably like 15 and probably thinks it's cool to cut, and she probably knows somebody who just cuts their arms, like, not, like I said, doing it for attention rather than seriously suicidal. And she probably thinks that's the coolest thing in the world, but even people who cut for attention, they are calling out for attention for a reason. So, I'm just saying, it's not something you do because you're just a little tiny teensy bit depressed. No, when you're a tiny teensy bit depressed, you play a video game or you listen to music or you go fucking outside. You don't start doing destructive behavior like that until you feel like you're just, like, there's no other way. I'm just saying. I mean, if I keep going on and on about it, we'll be here all day, but I wanted to justify myself and my reaction a little bit better, because this is a serious issue. And they're presenting it like, oh, look at her, she's doing something edgy. And it's like, no, it's not edgy. It's the writer being a complete and utter twit, and she really needs to grow the fuck up. Okay, that's all I have to say about it. I'm probably going to do Stillness this weekend, and I'm looking forward to doing that. If the author of Stillness has found my videos and is currently watching this one, please finish it, because as it stands, I'm going to have to just go ahead and kind of leave it on a cliffhanger, but I couldn't resist. I had to read it because I love your story. Okay. Check it out if you haven't already. Stillness is just, it's amazing. I want to do some more stuff too. I'm going to be doing some new stuff soon. And the author of Love the Way You Lie is going to be recording her lines for the next chapter very soon. And I also have some really awesome poetry readings to do. Maybe I'll do those this weekend, I don't know. But we'll see. I'll come up with something cool for this weekend, something good, like I always do. I think the blind readings are going to be like a midweek thing, like Wednesday or Thursday-ish, and good stories are going to still be like Friday, Saturday, or Sunday-ish. So now you get to hear 2 things a week from me, which I have no idea how I'm balancing all this working and all, but I guess I find the time. Okay, find time for your passions, people. That's my advice to you. Always make time for your passions. Always make time for your lovers, your friends, and your passions. You have to. There's no other way. You're not going to live a rich, fulfilling life if you don't do that. Okay, this time I really am leaving. So, see y'all later. This is the Elusive Pixie Chi, signing out. Bye.